Ayesha Nurdjaja is back in the Food Network spotlight with a story that explains why her place on Bobby's Triple Threat was never just a casting move. At the 2026 Food and Wine Classic in Aspen, the New York chef revealed that she once swore off cooking competitions entirely after being eliminated on Chopped in 2009. The unanswered question is simple. How did Bobby Flay convince a chef who wanted nothing to do with competition cooking to become one of his hand-picked titans? The newest confirmed update is that Ayesha says Bobby did not simply offer her the role and walk away. He says she agreed only after making a deal with him. She would join the show if he trained her. According to People, Flay spent time with her in the kitchen, helped her understand the competition format, and kept pushing one central message: not to become someone else for television, but to trust the food that already made him notice her. For verified entertainment updates without the rumors, subscribe to Startline Entertainment. The story begins years before Bobby's Triple Threat. Ayesha was eliminated on Chopped during the show's second season in 2009, and she told People the loss hit her harder than viewers may have realized. She had expected to win the $10,000 prize, had already mentally spent the money, and came away so disappointed that she decided she was done with that side of cooking. That reaction matters because Ayesha was never presented as a chef who built her name through game show dominance. Her reputation came from restaurants, flavor, and point of view. Food Network describes her as a Brooklyn-bred restaurateur, a James Beard Award-nominated chef, and a cook shaped by Italian and Indonesian roots who brings bold Eastern Mediterranean dishes to her New York restaurants. Those restaurants are central to why Bobby Flay noticed her. In Food Network's interview with Ayesha, she said she first met Bobby through one of her New York restaurants, Shuka, which opened near his apartment. She said Bobby liked big, bold flavors, and her food spoke to him. When he later needed a new titan, she believed those flavors were one reason she came to mind. But being respected in a restaurant kitchen is not the same as competing under a Food Network clock. Ayesha told People that cooking competitively requires a different skill set than running a restaurant kitchen, especially when a chef has to think quickly, build restaurant-level dishes, and work within a strict 45-minute challenge format. That pressure was exactly why her first response to Bobby's offer was no. The role itself is not small. Food Network's Season 4 materials describe Bobby's Triple Threat as a format where challengers face three titans in head-to-head rounds, built around surprise ingredients, with a $25,000 prize on the line. For Season 4, Ayesha joined Michael Voltaggio and Brooke Williamson as Bobby's newest titan after Tiffany Derry's exit. That is why Bobby's recruitment became the real story. People first reported in 2025 that Bobby personally chose Ayesha to replace Tiffany Derry, and he praised her food while acknowledging that she did not have the same competition TV background as many chefs who enter that arena. He said the show required both cooking ability and a separate skill set for pressure, time, and television. According to Bobby's earlier People interview, the turning point came over coffee. He told her she already had most of what she needed, and that he would help her with the rest. Ayesha later confirmed that the deal was training. She said Bobby gave her time in the kitchen, showed her the ropes, and kept reminding her to cook her own food rather than overthink the show. That detail is important because it changes the meaning of her casting. This was not framed as a network simply plugging in a new face. It was Bobby Flay taking a chef whose restaurant food he respected and betting that, with enough preparation, she could survive one of Food Network's most unforgiving formats. Food Network's own interview called her Bobby's newest secret weapon and said he looked to her for vibrant Mediterranean flavors. Ayesha's concern was not that she could not cook. Her concern was whether competition TV would let her show who she was as a chef. In the Food Network interview, she said she had avoided competition cooking for a long time because nervousness could take over and keep her from presenting her best work. Bobby, Michael Voltaggio, and Brooke Williamson helped her understand the rhythm of the show before she stepped fully into it. There is a strong retention turn in that part of the story. Ayesha did not walk into the Titan chair pretending she had no fear. She walked in after being honest about it. Food Network reported that Michael and Brooke both called her and explained what a day on the show felt like. Ayesha said she did not want them to feel they had to carry her because sitting on that couch meant Bobby trusted her enough to be there. That couch matters in the show's language. On Bobby's Triple Threat, the Titans are not just competitors. They represent Bobby's standard. Every challenger comes in looking to beat them, and every round tests whether the Titan can defend that reputation under pressure. Ayesha said she saw the role as a rite of passage and a legacy, which explains why the nerves were not a side note. They were part of the challenge. The public record also shows why Bobby's confidence was not random. The James Beard Foundation listed Ayesha Nurdjaja as a 2022 Best Chef New York State nominee for Shuka, and the foundation's 2026 nominees list includes her again in the Best Chef New York State category for Shukette. Those nominations support the idea that she came into Triple Threat with serious restaurant credibility, even if her competition TV resume was different. That restaurant background shaped the way she approached the show. In Food Network's interview, Ayesha said her food has an identifiable point of view, and that she felt proud after filming because she had pushed herself without feeling carried by her team. She said Bobby opened a door that she would have resisted if almost anyone else had been the person inviting her through it. The People interview also gives viewers a clearer look at Bobby Flay as mentor, not only as host. Ayesha described him as someone with intense work ethic, toughness, and understanding. She also described him as a cook in the deepest sense, someone still obsessed with food and still evolving after decades in the kitchen. That is the version of Bobby that mattered to her decision, because she trusted the chef behind the television persona. The current update also points to what comes next. People reports that Ayesha is excited about the upcoming Triple Threat season, teased a holiday show, and said she hopes to appear more on Food Network. She also discussed her upcoming cookbook, Mediterranean All the Way, which People says is scheduled for October 20th, 2026. That cookbook matters because it shows the bigger picture of Ayesha's career right now. Kitchen Arts and Letters lists Mediterranean All the Way, Bold Flavors, Built to Share as a pre-order title by Ayesha Nurdjaja, scheduled for publication on October 20th, 2026, with more than 120 Mediterranean and Levant-inspired recipes built around seasonal produce, herbs, spices, and sauces. So the story is not only Bobby Flay convinced a chef to join a show. The story is a chef moving from restaurant acclaim into a larger public chapter without abandoning the food that made her respected in the first place. Ayesha is not being packaged as someone who suddenly became competitive. She is being framed as someone who had to learn how to translate her kitchen voice into a timed television arena. What remains unclear is exactly how the next season will shape her Food Network future. Ayesha has expressed excitement and hopes for more appearances, but the sources checked do not confirm a long-term network deal beyond the reported show appearances and upcoming projects. The confirmed facts are narrower. She joined Bobby's Triple Threat as a Titan. Bobby trained and encouraged her, and she is now using that platform alongside her restaurant and cookbook work. The start-line takeaway is that Ayesha Nurdjaja's Bobby's Triple Threat story works because it is not a simple overnight TV success narrative. It is a comeback from a competition experience that left her wanting out, a mentor story about Bobby Flay seeing something in her food, and a career expansion for a chef whose identity was already strong before the cameras came back around. The clearest current status is this. Ayesha once swore off competition cooking after Chopped, initially resisted Bobby Flay's offer, agreed only after he trained her, and ultimately became the newest Titan alongside Michael Voltaggio and Brooke Williamson. The open question now is how far this Food Network chapter will go, and whether the chef who once wanted nothing to do with competition TV becomes one of its defining new faces.